What are the requirements of an output layer? What do you guys think? Now remember, ultimately, we're using these things to, well, we're using all algorithms to get to an answer, right? So what are the requirements of an output layer? Yeah. Yeah, Yassine is on top of it today. You're fast today, my friend. I love that. So Yassine says to match the number of prediction classes, activation functions to match problem type. Yeah. So what Yassine is basically saying there is you're going to have a node for all of your possible results. Excuse me, sorry. So if you're going to have a binary problem, a yes, no, true, false problem, guess what? You're going to have two outputs, right? That determines your output layer. But let's say you have, well, let me illustrate that a little bit more, right? So if you're writing like a spam filter, where you're taking in the contents of an email and deciding whether it's spam, what's your output layer? It's two, right? It can be spam or no spam, right? There's no in between, right? So your output layer is defined for you because of that problem. Let's say you're taking in customer calls and you want to classify the customer calls according to 5 different departments that your company has. You're going to have 5 output layers, right? Because each one of those, excuse me, not 5 output layers. You're going to have one output layer with 5 nodes. Excuse me, I'm glad I caught myself. You're going to have 5 nodes, right? Because you're going to have 5 possible answers, 5 possible company departments that phone call, that information was about, and you're going to give an answer accordingly. Okay, but Yassine is right. So your output layer is probably your most prescribed layer because it really does relate to what it is that you're outputting. Rosendo says, do you define the outputs or does that come from the algorithm used? It comes from the problem you're trying to solve, Rosendo. So it's more defined by the number of possible answers in your problem. And I mean your business problem, not like a math problem. Right? So like I said, if you're trying to classify the phone calls, the customer service calls to one of 5 departments in your company, then you would have 5 outputs. Right? So that's not a function of the algorithm. You're going to design an algorithm for that. You're going to design a neural network for that. But the fact that there's 5, that number 5 comes from the business problem you're trying to solve. Okay, you guys with me on that? So let me skip ahead here. Yeah, okay, cool.